This project came out of my work with my students as a professor at a Christian college. The issue of sexual identity is one that is really threatening to rip apart our churches and certainly our Christian college campuses. And my students had lots of questions, and I did too, of wondering, what does it mean to be both a Christian, someone who has committed to following Christ and who loves God with their whole heart, but also is realizing that their sexual identity is not like the person sitting next to them in class or sitting next to them in the pew at church. And my students would come to me with these questions of how can I be a Christian and be gay at the same time? This project was my way of trying to gather those stories and better learn from students how they're putting those two things together.
Christy Gardner has really just been a dream for me as a collaborator because she's been sitting on this incredible mound of story. She's conducted exactly 103 interviews. And for me, that's just access to lots of different voices.
I've been able to conduct these interviews at 9 Christian colleges across the country.
We've taken those interviews and we've coded them into a number of different themes and questions that we feel excited to wrestle with through theater.
As an academic, I'm fully aware that the work that I produce, academic articles, book, probably a very few people will read this. Devised performance allows the work to actually get back to those who need to be having these kinds of conversations.
Sojourn Theater is a nearly 20-year-old ensemble-based theater company that works around the United States. And what bonds all of our projects together is a passion for the arts as a really unique space for civic dialogue. We really believe in opportunities to take challenging ideas and opinions and different lived experiences and use theater to make space for folks to have safe and healthy dialogue. And this project, the content that it's about, the issues it engages, is really powerful, not just to make art about, but to actually be in conversation with each other about.
Actually creating that space through the pedagogical technique of performance is what will allow campus communities to engage in these really thorny questions.
So we're at that place of having these anchor inquiries, and now what we need to do is develop the story that we want to tell that collages and collides all those voices together.
And the work now with Sojourn Theater was actually incubating this project and actually testing out ideas and helping to form the basis for this performance, which then we hope will be toured to Christian colleges and universities to open up that safe space for dialogue on this issue.
Success for me on this project would be that campuses, after we perform the piece, have new doors open to conversation that weren't open before. So not that people's minds are drastically changed and not that policies are transformed on campuses, but that people feel like they have access to a conversation that they didn't have access to before.
Success for me would be people actually listening to each other, would be for the students who feel that they have no one to share their story with, can actually see themselves represented in this performance. For administrators who feel often misunderstood by students on campus, can see themselves in this performance. If we can do that, then we can better understand how to live in community with each other.